In the West End show Oliver was always going to be a challenge. Jodie's success on the BBC show I'd Do Anything made her an instant crowd pleaser.
So who better to take on the role than an established star of the West End of Broadway? That's Kerry Ellis. If you've seen the musical Wicked, you'll know she's just finished a long stint in the Olivia award-winning musical. We'll speak to Kerry in just a moment. First, let's see her performing Nancy's signature song.
Well, as torch songs go, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? And Kerry Ellis joins us now. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Have you played this role before?
I haven't, no. This is the first time, and I've been in the show for nearly 4 weeks now, so I'm having the best time. I really am enjoying it.
And are you really enjoying that song in particular? Because that's a real highlight, isn't it, for Nancy?
Yeah, and it's such a well-known song, and kind of people are... Oliver's full of well-known songs, and people are waiting for that song, you know, especially after the TV programme, you know. So it's kind of nice to start, you know, the music starts and you kind of hear people go... So it's really nice to be able to do it, really, and I'm having a ball.
And just fill people in a little bit on your background, because you've done a lot of musical stuff before. Where did that start for you?
I've done it ever since I was a child, really, and I went to theatre school, and I've done it kind of the traditional route, you know. Okay. At the moment we're seeing very much a reality route of people kind of coming and doing these shows, and I've kind of done the traditional way and proved that it can work, and I've been in the business now about 10 years and done a lot of successful shows and kind of prove that it does work to go that route.
And am I right in thinking Elaine Page was one of your sort of heroines?
She was, and actually when I met her, I did her radio show one Sunday, and I met her and I was so giddy, and I couldn't really speak on the radio, and usually, you know, I've met so many people and I've had such a privileged career, and I haven't been fazed by it, and I met Elaine Page and I, you know, nearly wet myself kind of thing on her TV, on her programme.
She was here just recently and we talked, you know, you mentioned that thing about coming through a traditional route.
Yeah.
And she talked about that too. I mean, is there a sense, do I sense in what you're saying that you sometimes think people get into, maybe into West End roles when possibly they shouldn't? I mean, do you think they're sort of crowbarred into something because they have a name from a TV series, and is that wrong?
I think that the thing about these television programmes is that it does bring musical theatre to the masses, and it does bring people that perhaps might not go to a show before into the West End, and perhaps if they see that show they might see another show. So I think it can only be a positive, and eventually it will move on to something else. You know, we've had Big Brother, we've now had the reality of finding a musical star. There will be something else.
But is the part of you where you hear about another reality show choosing another star for another West End musical, and does your heart sometimes go, oh, there's another part that's not there for me, or do others in the industry think like that?
I think so. I think so, but you know, there's so much work out there for everybody, and I think there is a bit of the pie for everyone. So, you know, I've been very lucky to do the jobs that I've done, and there are roles out there that perhaps they couldn't do a reality show around because people would need to have a bit of training to be able to manage them, like Wicked, you know.
Now tell us about Wicked, because I think, Charlie, you've seen Wicked, haven't you?
No,
oh, you haven't?
Okay. No.
Now, because I think Wicked is really interesting. It's one of those shows, either you get a whole group of people who haven't seen it, but and as a result, don't know anything about it. And then you get Wicked, it wins awards, it's hugely popular, you've won awards for it. Tell us about it.
Oh, there's some more clips. It has such an incredible fan base. It's such an incredible show, and the nice thing about Wicked is it is something new, and you know, it's very unfamiliar songs, but everybody relates to the Wizard of Oz, so people go with kind of an understanding of the show. But it does have an incredible fan base. But I think where it comes from is it's very much about the outcast, and it's very much about being different and friendships and relationships, and people can identify with it. So that's why I think they keep returning. And luckily for me, now they've followed me onto Oliver, and all these kind of dedicated fans have come to support me in Oliver, which is just wonderful.
You're starting to, or you're in the midst of recording your own album now, is that right?
Yes. It's almost finished, actually. It's ready for pre-order now on Amazon and Play, and we release it September 13th. And Brian May has produced it, which is very lucky for me.
How do you know Brian May?
Well, he cast me in We Will Rock You 8 or 9 years ago, I think it was, and we've been working together ever since, really. And this album is very much a labour of love, and it's something quite incredible, I think.
Now, Oliver's got headlines not just because of you know, the reality show link, but also it's got some big names playing some of the big parts. So who's Bill and who's Fagin while you're Nancy?
We have Stephen Hartley at the moment from the Bill and EastEnders, and he's a very familiar face who is brilliant and a joy to work with. He's made me feel very welcome. And we also have Griff Rhys-Jones playing Fagin, who again is a joy, and we're actually from the same county. We're both from Suffolk, so he is a joy. And the kids are brilliant. I have a great time with the kids.
They're incredibly well drilled, aren't they?
They
I mean,
really
the performances
are.
they turn out, it's staggering.
Really are. We have 3 teams. They do have different names for the teams, and they do about 2 or 3 shows a week each. And they are so much fun. They bring so much life and so much fresh energy to the show every night. It makes it a joy.
Oh, come on, they're out of control and all over the place, aren't they?
Backstage, yes, but well, you know, on stage they're actually really adaptable. You know, if little things go wrong, or you know, you drop something, or you know, somebody doesn't make it on, the kids like fly in and they pick it up and they take over. They're so brilliant and so spontaneous that it makes the show very lively and great fun. Unpredictable.
Thank you very much for getting up so early for us this morning, because presumably you were on stage last night, weren't you?
I was.
Tonight?
I was, yes, and tonight. I was up at 6 this morning, which was a little bit challenging.
And matinee and evening tomorrow?
Absolutely, yes. 8 shows a week.
And do you get a break?
We get a holiday. We get a holiday. But at the moment, I'm kind of ploughing through.
Yet.
But not yet. But I'm having a ball, so it's a joy. So.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
You can see Kerry in Oliver at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane in London's West End.
Let's get the weather.